Whirligig, page 57, part 2. Next week, they made me take a test. Then they said I could move to a different school. I was glad. Then I went there. It was a school for retarded children. Now, you know that I would not use this word, and I would not allow you to use this word in class. This word is in this text, so that's why I'm saying it right now. That's where they put kids who didn't know English. I told my father I wouldn't go. He said school in America makes your life better. We had lots of arguments. I pretended to go, but instead I would walk around or go to the park to watch the tennis players. When I was 14, I got a job in a restaurant when I was supposed to be in school. I brought home the money and gave it to my father. I knew he needed it for the rent. He took it. I quit pretending to go to school after that. In the restaurant I worked the dishwasher machine. Everyone spoke Spanish. I liked it there. The waitresses all called me flaco because I was skinny. They used to bring me food. It was a good job. But people argued there too. There were two cooks, one from Puerto Rico. He only liked Puerto Rican salsa music. Willie Colon was his favorite. Colon. He brought in tapes of Willie Colon's band and would hit the spatula on the grill like a drum. The other cook was from Jamaica. He only liked reggae. On weekends, there was a third cook from Cuba. They used to fight over the tape player. Not even the Pope could stop this war. 4 years I worked there, then the restaurant closed. I got a job in a different restaurant. Many people spoke English there. I learned how to speak from them. Constancia was one of the waitresses, 18 years old, also from Puerto Rico. She was so beautiful that everyone gave her big tips. Some she would give to the dishwasher and busboys. She always gave more to me than to the others. We became engaged, then we got married. That was a very happy time. We lived with her mother. Constancia was not only beautiful, but very kind, very good. Every day I told myself that I was lucky. I went to class at night to learn English better, to get a better job. English is very strange. You chop a tree down, then you chop it up. Muy loco. I filled out a form and got a job with the city, fixing holes in the street. Much more money than from the restaurant. We had a party to celebrate. At the party, Constancia announced that she was pregnant. Her mother, my father, everyone was very happy for us. Down that street to the right, at the red light, is the hospital where the baby was born. A very beautiful little girl. Everyone loved her very much. So when he says down that street to the right, remember that this narrator, it's not Brent, this unknown narrator, is doing some kind of job, like a street sweeping job right now. So he's describing the neighborhood that he's in. And he's kind of remembering back to this time in his life when he met his wife. And he says right down the street is where the baby was born. Everyone loved her very much. Constancia stopped work in the restaurant to stay home with the baby. She was a very good mother. When the baby was just 1 year old, it got a cold. This cold got worse. Then it went into the baby's lungs. It kept coughing and sweating, and then it died. After this, Constancia changed. She didn't go back to work in the restaurant. She missed the baby very much. Instead of hearing the baby's voice, she turned on the TV and let it talk all day long. When she watched, her eyes didn't move. Her face was like one of the statues in church. 1 year later, we had another baby, this time a boy. We named him Raul. This time, Constancia was different. Instead of laughing and smiling at the baby, she was worried all the time. She was afraid he would get sick like the first baby. Raul learned how to crawl and started putting everything in his mouth. Every day, Constancia would mop the floor and vacuum the rug. She bought a very special spray to kill germs. She sprayed it on his toys and the TV and the furniture. In summer, red dust falls on Miami. People say it's from the desert in Africa, that it blows across the ocean. Constancia was afraid it would bring bad diseases. She went to a botanica and bought special candles and statues of saints and prayers to hang over Raul's crib. When Raul was 4, Constancia's grandmother and grandfather came from Puerto Rico to live in our house. All day the grandfather played dominoes in our kitchen with the man next door and argued about. Okay, so when Raul was 4, Constancia's grandmother and grandfather came from Puerto Rico to live in our house. I'm going to pause because it's going to start talking about the grandfather, but I'm curious what you think about this narrator spending all this time describing Constancia's reaction, describing his wife's reaction to them being married. They had a baby girl, the baby girl died, and now they have a baby boy. So he has described her reactions and her feelings, but not his own. And I want to know what you think about that.